cold is also causing some big-time headaches for Chicago area owners of electric vehicles.
Yes.
Electric cars may be the way of the future, but it's clear there are some problems when it comes to charging them in Chicago's deep freeze.
It's no secret that freezing weather and electric vehicles don't get along too well. While this chilly relationship isn't breaking news, a recent uproar began after a Fox 32 Chicago report highlighted the struggles of various Tesla drivers trying to charge their EVs at a Tesla Supercharger in Oak Brook, Illinois. As temperatures in this Chicago suburb dropped below zero for the first time in a while, the situation became quite dire. Owners found themselves in a tough spot, having to tow their Teslas on flatbeds because the chargers weren't working, and their electric vehicles had run out of juice. The TV station didn't hold back, bluntly stating public charging stations have turned into car graveyards and referring to depleted EVs as dead robots. This report triggered a wave of similar stories, with Tesla owners echoing their discontent with the vehicles. So what's the problem with EVs? Join us as we embark on a chilling journey exploring why electric vehicle owners are now demanding the return of gas cars and how the freezing weather affects electric vehicles. The recent issues in Chicago have made even the EV fanatics to question their love for EVs. So without much ado, let's get started. Over the past week, bone-chilling temperatures from Chicago to northern Texas have made life challenging for electric vehicle owners. They've had to deal with reduced driving range and endure lengthy waits at charging stations. A notable incident occurred in Oak Brook, Illinois, near Chicago, where Teslas were running out of battery while waiting in long lines for a plug at a supercharger station. The temperature had plummeted to a teeth-chattering -9 degrees Fahrenheit, -23 degrees Celsius. In the outskirts of Ann Arbor, Michigan, the scene was no different. With the wind howling and temperatures at a frosty 7 degrees Fahrenheit, Teslas were slowly stacking up at 6 out of 8 charging stations. One driver was on the verge of running out of battery while waiting in line, highlighting the challenges faced by electric vehicle owners during this icy spell. It's a widely known fact that electric vehicles, EVs, experience a reduction in range in cold weather, especially during sub-zero temperatures like the recent chill that swept across the nation's midsection. However, no one expected it to be this bad. Studies indicate that the range loss can vary from 10% to 36%. Additionally, EVs don't charge as swiftly in extreme cold conditions. In fact, some Tesla owners near Chicago reported to journalists that their cars wouldn't charge at all. The inner workings of EV batteries involve lithium ions moving through a liquid electrolyte, generating electricity. However, in colder temperatures, these ions move more slowly through the electrolyte and release less energy, affecting the overall range and accelerating battery depletion. Sluggish movement of electrons in cold weather means the battery can't accept as much electricity from a charging plug, leading to a slowdown in charging. The challenge arises when temperatures drop, as batteries need to be warm enough for electrons to move, and this requirement becomes even more critical at fast charging stations like those used by Tesla. Despite these challenges, experts suggest that with some foresight and minor adjustments, EV owners can still navigate through cold weather and maintain relatively normal travel capabilities. But is it worth the trouble? At a supercharger station in Pittsfield Township, Michigan, just south of Ann Arbor, Ankita Bansal found her Tesla battery with only 7% charge remaining. Plugging in, she faced a challenge as the car refused to charge. Instead, the display indicated that the battery needed to warm up. Once it reached the right temperature, the display estimated an hour and 50 minutes to achieve a full charge. Bruce Westlake, president of the Eastern Michigan Electric Vehicle Association, shared insights, noting that most EVs are designed to warm the battery if the driver notifies the vehicle's navigation system about an impending trip to the charging station. According to Westlake, in freezing temperatures, it can take around half an hour to warm up the battery, enough for it to be ready for charging. While preconditioning the battery does incur a slight loss in range, usually just a few miles, it proves essential in cold weather conditions. Bansal, who recently acquired her Tesla, wasn't initially aware of the preconditioning process, but has learned about it the hard way. Cold temperatures can significantly impact the range of electric vehicles, and it's not just limited to freezing conditions. In extreme cases, an EV's range can drop by 30% or more due to increased resistance in the battery cells, affecting the overall efficiency and performance of the battery pack. The cold affects the battery's anode's ability to capture lithium ions, leading to a process called coating, where these ions tend to accumulate on the anode's surface. While most of this coating diminishes through battery use, it doesn't entirely disappear, accumulating over time and impacting battery performance. This accumulation is noticeable as a decrease in the battery's capacity. As temperatures rise, the lithium coating around the anode reduces, and you'll observe an increase in the battery's capacity. In freezing conditions, an electric car's battery monitoring system and thermal management system, typically centered around a heat pump, work tirelessly. Their goal is not only to provide the maximum possible range, but also to prevent damage to the battery. So, in cold weather, these systems are in overdrive to optimize performance and protect the battery from adverse effects. For optimal operation, an EV's lithium-ion battery pack prefers temperatures between 68 and 113 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 and 45 degrees Celsius. If the outside temperature falls below 68 degrees Fahrenheit, the vehicle expends electricity to warm the pack and maintain the desired temperature. It's essential to note that this warming process occurs even when the EV is turned off. Leaving your EV parked outside on a very cold night without plugging it in can result in significant range loss. Recent data from battery health startup Recurrent Auto, based on testing over 10,000 cars representing the 18 most popular electric models in the US, reveals that EVs retained approximately 70.3% of their range in freezing temperatures. Some models outperformed the average, with the Audi e-tron losing only 16% of its range in winter, making it the top performer in the study. On the other hand, the Volkswagen ID.4 exhibited the weakest performance, losing a substantial 46% of its range under such chilly conditions. Another factor contributing to reduced range during cold weather EV driving is the transition from summer to winter tyres. With distinct rubber compounds and tread patterns, winter tyres generate higher rolling resistance, leading to a decrease in range. Regularly monitoring tyre pressure in winter is crucial, as it can fluctuate based on external conditions. Underinflated tyres can further impact efficiency. Michelin highlights that rolling resistance has the potential to diminish an EV's range by up to 20%. Moreover, a 30% rise in rolling resistance can result in a 3 to 5% increase in electricity consumption. Some tyre manufacturers, such as Michelin, Hankook or Nokian, have introduced EV-specific winter tyres to address this issue. These tyres aim to strike a better balance between grip and rolling resistance, enabling electric cars to cover more distance in winter without compromising safety. But as you can see, during the winter, EV owners are struggling with less juice, more expenses, and lots of frustrations. And if you thought that was enough, there are numerous other problems with EVs during winter. Transitioning from a traditional internal combustion engine, ICE vehicle, to an electric vehicle, EV, may bring a surprising change. Less inherent heat generation as you drive. In a combustion car, the engine produces ample heat, enough to warm the cabin without much concern for its impact on efficiency or range, unlike in an EV. EVs equipped with heat pumps harness some waste heat generated by electric motors and other components, using a portion to heat the cabin. However, this may not suffice, leading to the activation of a resistance heater to ensure a warm cabin on cold winter days. When you turn on the heater in an EV, even one with a heat pump, you'll instantly observe a drop in the predicted range. Polestar notes that outside temperatures alone can reduce the range of its EVs by 10 to 12%. However, if you use the climate system as well, this reduction can climb to 41%. Another problem that people clearly ignore is the effect of the cold on regenerative braking. A clear indicator of your electric vehicle's battery not being at its optimal temperature is the regenerative braking capability. Some EVs can regenerate well over 100 kilowatts, with examples like Rimac Nevera reaching up to 300 kilowatts, or the Porsche Taycan at 290 kilowatts. But when the battery is cold and can't efficiently accept power from the motors, the vehicle reduces the rate of recuperation until the battery goes empty if not charged. During the last few weeks of freezing temperatures in Chicago, most drivers have experienced EV frustration at its best, and a recent survey by Fox 32 shows that most EV owners would not buy an EV as their second car. So, what are your thoughts on electric vehicles? Are you ready to jump on the EV bandwagon yet? Share your experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. Until our next video, happy driving!